All right, in this video, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. Now, this particular law is a federal regulation that's part of those real estate specific federal laws that you have to know not only for the real estate exam, but it is something that really does impact us in the real estate community. And there's about 4 or 5 of those laws, like the Federal Credit Reporting Act and the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. And we're going to talk about those in different videos specifically. But today it is the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. So let's take a look at what this law specifically does. Now, the first thing that it does, it provides restrictions and prohibitions on lenders that are providing loans for residential property. Notice it's residential property and not car loans, commercial loans, or credit cards. Now, it does impact those particular communities as well. However, for the purposes that we need this video for your licensing exam preparation, we're only going to talk about the part that deals with the residential loans, all right? And so the law has certain prohibitions depending on someone who's in a protected class. And most of you have probably had some type of fair housing training already from your pre-licensing classes or through your studies. And all this law does is say there's certain prohibitive conduct based on someone who's a member of these protected classes. Now, the protected classes that fall under the Equal Credit Opportunity Act are sex, marital status, race, color, religion, national origin, and the receipt of public assistance. That particular provision was included to protect those that receive income from Social Security disability, welfare, those type of things. All right, so these particular protected classes are specifically and narrowly for this law only. Some of the other federal laws have added additional protected classes. So what you need to know for the licensing exam is the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. Here are the protected classes that are protected under this law. Now, what's the prohibitive conduct? That is someone who's a member of one of those protected classes under this law. A lender providing a loan for residential property cannot fix an amount, meaning they couldn't say African Americans, we're only going to loan you a maximum of $300,000. Everybody else, we're going to go to $1 million. They couldn't have differing interest rates. They couldn't have differing terms and conditions. So they couldn't say, Latinos, we're only going to give you a 20-year mortgage and everybody else can get 30 years, right? So that's what we mean by protected classes and the prohibitive conduct. Now, don't confuse that with someone who legitimately has a subpar financial trustworthiness. All right, so let me explain. Many lenders base their terms and conditions on someone's credit score, or what we call the FICO score. And it's very common, for example, that a lender can say, listen, we're going to give anyone who has a 720 FICO score a 3% loan, for example. Anybody that's 680 to 719 FICO score, they're going to be 3.25. Anybody below 679, we're not going to give a loan to. Notice it's based on the individual's FICO score, and it's across the board. It's not focusing or targeting one particular class of people. It's across the board. So whether you're African American, Latino, whether you're a male, female, whether you're Catholic, whether you're receiving Social Security, it doesn't matter. We're making our determination whether we're going to loan to you and what the terms of those terms and conditions for that loan is going to be based on your financial trustworthiness. And that's a key distinction. All right, so keep that in mind. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act prohibits these four prohibitions based on these protected classes, and you just simply have to know it for your real estate licensing exam. One final thing. Notice on the bottom of your screen, it has a key date of 1974. One of the things that the real estate licensing exam loves to ask about is when particular laws were passed into existence. And in this case, you need to know that the Equal Credit Opportunity Act was passed in 1974, because there's a high probability that actual question is going to be on your exam. All right, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in the next video.